Hello guys, what's up? So in today's session, I know your exams are coming near. I hope you're all prepped up. Everything is on track, and I hope you guys are now revising and not studying new concepts now. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So now people coming back to now in your company, now what are the different types of questions that will be asked? Of course, you know that there are these direct questions and there are these drafting related questions that will be asked in your exam, especially that will be your sixth question, and the weightage of which can be anywhere between, on an average, at least they have asked is 10 marks, and yes, it has gone up to around 20 marks also. But if I have to tell you an average is around 10 marks to, I can say, 15 marks. That's an average. And yes, this will be asked in the sixth question. Sir, what if in our attempt it is asked in any other place? Hey, macha, it's okay, da. I'm telling you in the last 3 attempts, that is where they have asked. Yeah, if they ask you in a different place, don't start cursing me from there only. Okay. Now, what I have tried to do in this particular video, let us try to learn what are the different types of drafting related questions that you may expect from your exam. That's the first thing. What are the few things that I need to keep in mind as a student so that I can increase my marks in drafting the resolutions? The third thing, what is the, if imagine for all the students out there, I know for you guys, drafting the resolutions is like a nightmare. I know that. Yeah. So the last part of this video will be how to tackle any given resolution. If they ask us to draft a resolution, how do we tackle it? Yeah. So I've tried to come up with something called as a blank resolution. So just remember that if you guys are not able to think of any format, anything, just remember that blank resolution. I would have given some fill in the blanks. Fill it. That is more than sufficient. Your purpose will be served. Yeah, that's the best I can do. Now, yes, coming to the last 3 attempts I've taken, what are the different types of drafting related questions they have asked? So, if I have to put it this way, people, the different drafting related questions they can ask you, one is they can ask you to draft a resolution. That's the first one. The second one they can tell you to draft a notice. That is the notice of board meeting, notice of general meeting, as the case may be. The third thing they can tell you to draft is people minutes. Of course, they can tell you to draft more also. Shareholders agreements, all that they can tell you to draft. I think in the previous attempt they have told you to draft polling papers. Yeah, postal ballot, polling papers and all of that. Yes, they can ask you different. But let us imagine there are these 3 categories which are, widely asked. So one is resolution, one is minutes, and one is notice. Now when I'm writing a resolution, first of all, what is the difference between a resolution and a minutes? Is there any difference? Remember people, resolution is nothing but what is the decision that is to be passed in the meeting to do a particular activity. Now for example, if I want to shift a registered office address, what is the section and how do we do it? From which place to which place? Now that's the decision. That is called as resolution. Now what do I mean by minutes? Minutes means people, today we have passed a resolution. Decision is passed today. Now within 30 days people, I need to enter everything in the minutes book. That is as an evidence that all of this was discussed. In the future, I need to have it as an evidence. So what I will do, people, of that whole meeting, I will write it as a narration. When did the meeting start? Who and all attended the meeting? Was the quorum present? Who was the chairperson? All these things, we will write it like a story. And that day, what and all decisions were taken? And a little background about that decision. And then we will write the resolution part. So minutes is a broader thing. Resolution is the only decision that is taken in that meeting. Only that part will be involved. Whereas with regards to the minutes is nothing but In the future, we are going to speak about the past. That's the minutes. I hope you are understanding that point. I'll show you. We have some examples, so we'll see. So let us see. I'll just show you certain things. Try to concentrate and try to keep that in mind. Okay. See, the first question they have asked: draft a resolution for creation of security on the properties of the company in favor of the lenders, stating the authority, type of resolution, and relevant provisions of Companies Act. Now, people by default try to include these 2 points in all the resolutions you are passing. What is that? The first one is authority, or you can also call it as type of meeting. That also you can pass. Now, for example, it can be general meeting here. It can be directors meeting here. And then type of resolution. Meaning in general meeting only, it can be, imagine, alteration of capital clause, ordinary resolution, shifting of registered office. It can be board resolution, special resolution. So I'll write here special resolution here. Yes, sir. Try to include these two. That is, one is authority or the type of meeting. Next one is type of resolution. Yeah. Now, what are they telling you? Draft a resolution for creation of security on the properties of the company in favor of a lender. What is happening? There is a third party who is giving loan to our company. So we are creating security in his name, in his interest. We are creating a security. Now, people, what are the different provisions that will be applicable? See, this is the first thing we need to keep in mind. The second thing we keep in mind. The third thing, people, we need to first think what are all the sections or rules that will apply to my transactions. Now, in this case, people, what and all are the sections applicable? First one is, people, section 180 subsection 1 clause A, meaning disposing of the undertaking or substantial part of the undertaking, the whole of the undertaking. Sir, why is 181A is coming here? Remember, people, because if you do not repay the interest, whatever is a security you are giving it, that is gone only, no? So that's nothing but, people, disposing of the asset only, no? So 181A will also become applicable. Restriction on power of board. In addition to that, what our company could have given, which they have not given, people, is they have left out this one. Which one? Section 77, duty to register charge. So when you have created a security, even I will also include that as well. That one part they have not added here. Now, how will I present a resolution? Now, they have given the whole part. Yeah, now try to read it. Pursuant to the provision of section 181A and other applicable provisions, if any, of the Companies Act, as amended from time to time, and AOA referring to that consent of shareholders, he is hereby given to the board of directors for creation of security in form or manner on the movable or immovable property of the company, whether tangible, intangible. You can give it on anything, correct term. Resolved further that. Now, this is the next point. What is that? Whenever I'm starting a resolution, the resolution has to start with the words resolved that. It should be in capitals. So, where is it written? In fact, if you ask me, people, it is not written any place. This is not even a standard. It is just a followed format. That's all. People are using this. That's all. But is it mandatory, sir? Is it somewhere written that all your minutes has to start with the word resolved? That answer is no. Nowhere it is written. But yes, it's become a practice. So we are expected to write that. You guys don't experiment it in your exam. You also write your first paragraph as resolved that only. My second paragraph, I'll write it as resolved further that. Third paragraph, again it will be resolved further that. Are you getting the point? Now, what is the resolution we are passing for? For creation of security, directly go to the format I'm telling you, directly write that particular thing here. So, this is a blank resolution. If you want, you take a screenshot, keep it. By heart and go if you think the logic is not making sense. I will try to explain you the logic. Now, see here. Resolved that pursuant to section 180 subsection 1 clause A and other applicable provision of Companies Act, if any, read with rules. Meeting of board and its powers, that's the rule. And read with AOA, MOA, and subject to the consent of. Now remember people, directors can't decide it on their own. Who else also have to agree? Subject to the consent of shareholders. Subject to the consent of shareholders, the board of directors hereby gives the approval for what? Now what are we doing? For the purpose of creation of security. This purpose. Creation of security in favor of ICICI Limited. Yes, sir. Here, anything will fall here, people. You can write literally anything. It will be valid. Okay, now see. Resolve further that the draft what? Loan agreement. Imagine if you are appointing someone. The draft appointment letter for the purpose of appointment of a managing director is placed before the board. I can write anything there. So resolve further that the draft loan agreement for the purpose of, why are we giving for the purpose of verification? For the purpose of approval or just for the purpose of noting? What are we giving it for? So for the purpose of approval has been placed before the board of directors, which is initialed by chairperson for identification, and the board shall authorize Mr. or Miss. Now people, someone has to go and sign that loan agreement and all. Who will go and sign on behalf of the company? We are telling Mr. or Miss X, who is a managing director, or Mr. or Miss X, who is a CS, to execute the same on behalf of the company. We are authorizing them to go and enter into a loan agreement on behalf of the company with ICICI Bank. We are nominating one person. Resolve further that any director or CS or KMP is hereby authorized to file form. Which one? CHG1 with registrar and to file and maintain such other registrars. Imagine people, whatever are the loans we have made or anything, we'll maintain a register. I'll maintain the register. Now imagine CHG1, I'll maintain the register of charges. CHG7, I'll maintain such other register, that is register of charges in form CHG7 as required under the law. See, blank resolution. People, trust me. You go through any number of resolutions. You try to put that in this format. If it doesn't make sense, you let me know. You can do the same thing for anything. Of course, you need to use a little common sense. Wherever possible, you need to know how to tweak it. But the rest of it will be as easy as possible. Now keep this in mind and write any resolution. It will work. I hope this is clear. Hello. Simple. See. Now see, you are the assistant company secretary of GH Limited. Anirban, chief manager, secretarial and legal, has advised you to prepare a model board resolution for preparation of annual report in abridged form for mailing to members of the company. Draft the resolution, assume the facts and figures. What are we doing? We are doing, people, something called as annual report. See, according to section 136 of Companies Act, every shareholder has a right to receive annual report, board's report, audited financial statements. Now keeping that in mind, I'll again write the same thing. Try to write. See, assume, resolved that pursuant to section 136 and other applicable provision of Companies Act read with the relevant rules, which is coming under accounts, AOA, MOA, and subject to the consent of shareholders, the board hereby gives approval for abridged form of annual report, which is to be circulated amongst shareholders, debenture holders, preference shareholders, and such other people who are connected with the company. Resolved further that the draft abridged annual report for the purpose of verification has been placed before the board, which is initialed by the chairperson for identification, and board shall authorize say for example company secretary, to execute the same and to distribute the same amongst all the shareholders. Resolved further that any director or CS is hereby authorized to file the form. Here now, of course, filing of the form doesn't come. Now, what will I do? I can write CS is hereby authorized to place the same on the website of the company, which shall be open for inspection by any required shareholder. I can write that done. See, format is same. You put anything, people, it will work. Yeah, 100%. So, you guys also try with certain resolutions and see if it is giving you a proper result or not. Clear? Next one. Draft a specimen notice for AGM in accordance with the provision of Companies Act, ensuring that there is no special business. That means what? Only ordinary AGM. So people, this is the format of AGM notice. What? First one, people, I need to write name of the company. I will write here XYZ Limited. Having the registered office at Karnataka. Having the SIN, email, telephone number, website. Notice of, this is 108th annual general meeting of the company. Notices he is hereby given that the meeting number 108th AGM of the members of XYZ Limited will be held on which day? Thursday, that is the 15th of December 2025 at 9 a.m. The address will be at the registered office address, and the following will be decided. What? Special business is not there, they are given. So what will you assume? We will assume that for adoption of your financial statements, audit report, the board's report, next one, declaration of dividend if any, appointment of director in the case of retiring director, and appointment of auditor, and determine their remuneration. That is what we will discuss. That is what I will write. Now all these will become my agenda items. The last one, sir. What? I need to write, of course, I need to sign everything, and people, notes. What is this notes? Whenever you are informing shareholders, you need to inform them something, right? What? If at all e-voting option is available, then when is the beginning day, when is the ending day? You tell me, e-voting will be open for how many days? How many? 3 days. It will mandatory close when? 1 day before the date of the meeting by 5 p.m. Correct? Write down that. Your password will be this. Your ID will be this. Next one, by default, the shareholder has an option for what? He has a right to appoint proxy. Give that. Agreed? And what else I will say? I will clearly say what is the book closure dates. Because you guys should not come for inspection. These are all easy points to write. Write down. E-voting. Books remains closed. Proxy. The member entitled to vote can come either on his own or through proxy. I can even come and inspect the proxy forms. When should I deposit the proxy forms? 48 hours prior. Intimate everything. So these becomes notes. See, this is how you need to write the, what is that? The notice of AGM. Keep this in mind. A simple one. A letter having its agenda and having the notes. Meaning special instructions, if any. That is how I draft my notice of AGM. Clear? You're requested to draft sample minutes. See? Difference between resolution and minutes. What is minutes? Minutes will have a summary of that entire day, whatever you discussed. Anyone who sees that, in the class we would have seen also a draft minutes. I will have a summary of that entire day's, meeting. That is what they are telling you. See here, the meeting of, what is that? Board, probably 15th meeting of the board of directors of company held on Thursday, 15th of December at so and so venue from this time to this time. See, first thing, attendance, who and all were present. Next one, people, invitees. What are my invitees? Did you call anyone else apart from directors? If you have called, add them. See, first agenda, people, chairman of the meeting. First you will nominate now who is the chairman of the meeting. So Mr. So and so was elected as the chairman of the meeting. Sir, we have in total, sir, 8 directors. 2 directors did not come. We will give them something called as leave of absence. If any director was not able to make to the meeting, we give them something called as leave of absence, mandatory item. Whether they have intimated us or not, within 30 minutes, if you are not present, we give you leave of absence. The third one, quorum, to be present within 30 minutes. I need to say the quorum was validly called and the requisite quorum was present during the meeting. Next one, the minutes of the previous meeting. So whatever the previous meeting was, we discussed that, we signed that, that was clearly arrived at. I need to tell that. Next one. See, these are all, if you guys want, you can write. If not, it's okay. Register of contracts. What is this? MBP1. Disclosure of interest by directors. In which and all companies I have shareholding. I will disclose it in every meeting, right? Wherever there is a change. And in every first meeting of the board of directors, I'll have to disclose that, right? That is what they've given. And now they have come to people. Share transfers. That's the main thing. They're telling you there was a share transfer request. See, reference was made. See, whenever you're writing a minutes, you will first write a little background. That day, what happened? And then what was decided? That is decision. This is resolution. Copy paste. This is background. See, reference was made to Mr. X's note dated 15th of December as circulated. The share transfer register of the company was also placed before the meeting. The board, after discussion, passed the following resolution unanimously. I will write, the following resolution was passed as ordinary resolution. The following resolution was passed as special resolution. I'll write that. And then I'll write, see, recording the transfer. So this person resolved that share transfer number 1 to 55 consisting of equity shares of the company be approved and the names of transferees be entered in the register of members. Resolved further that Mr. X Secretary be and is hereby authorized to take necessary action with regard to the aforesaid transfer of shares approved by the members. Conclusion. There being no other business, the meeting concluded at the time with a vote of thanks to the chair. That's the last conclusion. Easiest. All of you are getting the point. So these are the three things that can ask people. I've taken that only, resolutions and that only. If you want, I can ask the team to, I'll tell them to upload this. What you guys do, you go through this, try to put this resolution, you try to practice this in this way. See if it is going to work for you or not. So always remember, when I'm writing a resolution, the first I'll write the type of meeting, the type of resolution and what was decided. Here I'll use sections or rules. And accordingly, whatever is given in the section, I'll write that. Minutes people, remember, I will give the entire summary that happened on the day of the meeting. I have to write all those things. Chairperson, who was the chairperson, quorum was present, leave of absence, and as the case may be. Yes, and then resolutions are also part of it with proper background. Clear all of you? So I just want to take this summary, just give it a practice. So I just thought, this would work. So give it a try. See how it works. Yep. So thank you so much. I hope it made some sense before you guys take up this exam. Wish you guys the best. See you all. Bye-bye.